And so I'm back from a small little break. We went through and dissolved all the salt and sugar into here. And I'll be honest, I added a little bit more of the Corning spices just because I really wanted to. And I wanted to get that flavor in there. And you may have noticed that there's been a switch in my wardrobe. That's because I was wearing a long sleeve. And here in a few moments I'm going to be cutting wet meat. And wearing a long sleeve with that makes it more likely that I'll get the meat juices everywhere. And I was just trying to avoid that. So we've done a quick switch. So you've got this right here. It's really strong. So the first thing that we're going to do, and also if I put the meat into there now, it would start cooking the meat. So the first thing I'm going to do is get ice in here. It's going to cool this down and it's going to add some more liquid to the mix so it's not too strong. Alright, and we're going to let this set up and get ready and we'll have another slight pause. I also cheated and I put down a little divot, pot holder, whatever it is. See, I wash my hands. Okay, so I've got a nice big brisket here. And you can see that there's juices in here. This is, I believe it's called wet aging. It's when it's cryovac sealed from the manufacturer and shipped out that way. But don't quote me on that. I'll do some more checking into it and make sure I get the right thing and post it somewhere. So I've got the roast right here. And what we're going to be doing is basically brining it for about a week, week and a half. These are not the largest Ziploc baggies you can get, but they are the largest I have. And this whole thing is not going to fit into one of these, so I'm going to cut it in half and put half into each one. Now, we'll start. Remember, I'm not sharpening this, I'm just pointing it. Honing, honing. The cutting board that I have, while not the best cutting board, I've definitely had betters. This is the largest that I have that has the little fluid groove on it, which will help keep it from going everywhere. I cheat on occasion. You don't need these, but I find that it just helps me every now and then when I have to do all sorts of different things. But I've got a bunch of latex gloves that I just keep around. Usually I'll use it for fish or chicken. Alright, so now it's just a matter of opening the sack so we can get to it. Pop quiz. Is this blood? Is that blood? The answer, no. No, it's not. At the slaughterhouse, they actually get rid of all the blood in the animal. That's just cell liquids that have been released. Alright, so here we have the nice big brisket. I've got a really large chunk of fat right here, which if it was a little bit more marbled in, I might keep it. But in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, there's the tiniest bit of meat on there, but that's just a big thing of fat. And I was more than willing to get rid of that because I'm going to keep all this. And it's going to go ahead and cook into it later on down the line and really help things out. Although I will put a light score in it just to help it with the brining. And this isn't going to make any huge changes on how it cooks. It'll just make it a little bit easier for me on the brining part. So when you look at this, you can very easily right now see the grain. The grain is going like that. For the cut that I'm going to do, I'm just going to be going right about here. But when we actually get to the point where we cut this to eat it, we're going to want to cut against the grain. So I'll be cutting here, so that means that the best way to cut this when we go to cook would be like this, going against the grain. It just makes it so you're going to end up, when you're eating it, it's not going to be as chewy. You won't have a really hard time eating it. It'll have that corned beef falling apart appeal. That just is wonderful. So at this point, really easily, cut into it. This is my chef knife. I really like it. I've had it for a while. It's actually from my culinary sculpt kit. But it makes it really easy. So here are the two roasts. The two briskets, sorry, not roasts. At this point, like I said, we're going through, it's going to be pretty easy. We'll take the first one. Open it up, get it set there. Second one. And we'll get this out of the way. So, take the first one and just slide it in. Same thing here. Now remember, you're dealing with raw meat, so after we're all done here, it's kind of boring, so I won't show you, but I'm going to be sanitizing all this. I'm going to be cleaning it all, sanitizing it. I've even got some bleach wipes that I use just to make sure I'm not cross-contaminating, I'm not leaving stuff out to get sick or anything like that. Sick is not good. Gloves. Quick, easy trick. Take off one glove, hold it there, take the other one. Now they're both off, and you've only got one thing to throw in. So now we're going to take the brining solution that we have. Excuse me. No photo bombing. There are cats in this household, so there may be times where we get photobombed by cats. Hopefully they will not be doing horrible, nasty things. So looking at this, something that I did wrong, and I can already tell I did it wrong, I have too much liquid for the 2 bags that I have here. One of the things I was thinking about doing was not cutting the roast at all and putting it into the stock pot that we got up there, but that would have just been, I'm going to be letting it soak, letting it brine for about a week and a half. And so I just decided that that would have been too much of a storage issue, where these should work out easier for me. Alright, so we're getting to the dregs of that. So now is the kind of fun part. We're going to seal this. We want to try and get out as much of the air as we can. Yes, there are probably ways that you could do this to get out every little bit of air, but I don't want it. So now we have this. Now we're just going to basically let this stay in the fridge for a week and a half. And try not to, what just popped on me there? Huh. Careful you don't have crappy ones that open on you. So I've got this container right here, and I'm dropping this in, just so if this does spring a leak, it'll spring a leak in this container and not all over my fridge. Because brining meat juice all over your fridge probably going to get you in trouble with someone. And I originally thought I could get away with just putting it into 1 glass container, but I need 2. And again, Gonna go through and do this and get out as much air as I reasonably can. Maybe I should get some of those ones that change color, because apparently I can't see those. Or the ones with the little slidey thingy. Anyway, as long as you have one that works for you. So here we go. I got that. And we now have 2 big pieces of brisket that are brining. Brining, it's a form of curing. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to. So I've got these 2 things. I'll go ahead and stick them in the fridge. If I get bored enough, I might show you some updates as we go along. But basically at this point, we're just going to be leaving it in the fridge for a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. And probably once a day, I'm going to go in very carefully and I'm going to flip them. That way the brining solution will keep going through. Like you saw, there was the one that I didn't get all the air out of it. So it's got a section that's not submerged completely right now. So if I'm flipping it, that'll help keep that from happening. So this is where we're at so far. We're going to go ahead and call it quits for now. I'll be back on. We'll continue this in a while. If you subscribe, then you'll be able to see the continuation of this and see where we go from here. And likes are also really nice too. Thank you very much. Go ahead and share, and I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.